The following podcast is intended for mature audiences. Listener discretion is advised. Listen, the thing is, Elton, when he gets going, a lot of the time, an absurd amount of time if I'm being honest, he curses just like a drunken sailor, you know, a drunken dick of a sailor who has just been kicked in the dick by a hugely muscled asshole. Wait, should I say it that way? I think, should I say balls instead? Balls? Balls. Big ol' hairy balls. Got it. Balls. He curses like a drunken sailor who has just been kicked in the dick by an asshole's balls. Oop, nope. That's not what I wanted to say. Damn it! No, you know what? To hell with it. I'm sticking with what I got. Yep, dick balls. That's it. Enjoy the show.
Oh, it's post-apocalypse time. Again. Only this time it's on the East Coast of the United States. Again. But this time, everything mechanical or electrical has stopped working. Again. So, yeah. It's just a regular old post-apocalyptic world full of people trying to get by with all the modern trappings that make life worth a damn today. But with a big nuclear-powered, heavily armored vehicle that glows and can drill into the earth that's piloted by a Hollywood movie industry douchebag. You know, so typical.
This is out to read some book the week. Podcast about books down to read. This is out to read some book the week. Podcast about books and out to read. Yeah, let's go. Since I'm done.
And then, welcome to Elton Reads a Book a Week, the podcast guaranteed to be on time at some time, just not this time. My name is Elton, and I read a book a week. The book this go-round is called The Arrest by Jonathan Lethem. The book is a post-apocalyptic letdown, as far as I'm concerned. I know fuck all about literary analysis. I'm a simple man who reads words and does little beyond that. Subtext? No thanks. It's all about literal meaning for me. I'm not deep. Old thimble depth Elton, they used to call me. Critical thinking? Golly no. I'm an idiot. Still, it seems like post-apocalypse, this one could have been a little more exciting. But as you'll see, that it not being exciting is the point. But before we get to all that, I'd like to introduce Glen from the multiple podcasts that Glen does. The Nuzzle House podcast and the one I'm on with him, which is 2 books, 1
You
cup.
don't have to remember. It's fine.
And
it's fine.
I don't know what, you know. So
I tried to start a podcast empire from scratch with just me as the only person on it. Then I got married. Then I brought other friends in. And so now I'm trying to build an empire.
If
you don't remember what podcast you're on with me, that's fine. It doesn't offend me just as long as you keep producing.
That's right. That's what my sphincter says. As long as I keep producing.
I like that every time you sit in the toilet, you just scream, produce!
Make it happen! Make it happen! Before. Okay, so who wrote this motherfucker? Not the not-so-awesome post-apocalyptic thing. Well, let's find out. This is about, just so you know, Glenn, this is about Jonathan Lethem, who was born on February 19th, 1964, way at the beginning of Beatlemania, which you don't like. Glenn's one of the rare Americans that hates English music and all of its history.
Also, I don't like the English accent. Is Jonathan Allen the author or the main character of the book?
Jonathan Lethem is the guy who wrote The Arrest, which is the book we're talking about today. Or I'm talking about today, this time. I don't like to mention time in my podcast because I feel the listener is taking a nice little vacation from reality into my stupid. Stupid. And so why remind them that the real world exists when they can just exist in my hellish hell? Hell of the hell. So, okay. So, what? Go ahead.
Oh, I kind of don't want to. I'm doing it right now. I kind of don't want to interrupt because the one thing that I love about your show is you by yourself with no one else there to monitor what you're saying. You will criticize the hell out of yourself, and you just did it right now in front of me.
Yes,
and absolutely. I just want to stand back and just let the beauty unfold upon itself. Like let the rose petals open up and absorb the sun. And so I feel weird as a guest here because I'm like, I don't want to influence you screaming at yourself.
I don't know. It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Well, it's happening right now. Yeah. So I just going to stand back and just watch the beauty unfold.
Let the self-loathing and self-deprecation just wash over you like a
I'm just
golden
honored
shower.
You let me sit here to witness it. Yeah. I am so honored you let me watch you golden shower yourself where you lay on a table and pee on your own chest.
I am not big enough to do that, sir. Just so you know, a little TMI, a little TMI. I'm not big enough to do that. It would arc belly button, you know. That'd be as far as it goes.
See, this is exactly why I feel like I shouldn't be here. I'm wrecking the glory that is your self-hatred.
No.
But
this is what
I mean, every penis you can angle it, or get a funnel and you can shoot it up. But whatever, go back to what you're saying.
Okay. All right. So 1964, Beatlemania, which you hate. He was born in Brooklyn, New York, which if you've been listening to this podcast for a while, Glenn, since you're right here, you know that means he's a filthy, disgusting thief, murderer / drinker of blood, both infant and adult. Fucking New Yorkers. They're the scourge of humanity. That's a settled science, by the way, just so you know.
I didn't need your podcast to tell me all that. I did love listening to your podcast to reinforce what I already know.
They're all blood-sucking demons that steal things. They all have the teeth, the kind that can rip meat apart. I don't know, the sharp ones. They have those. All of them. All New Yorkers. The minute you go to New York, that's what they do to you. They hold you down and then they turn you into a monstrous, thieving murderer. I'm sorry, New Yorkers. Please don't beat me up. That's just... Okay, so, look. Jonathan was born to political activist Judith Frank Lethem and avant-garde painter... Goddamn. Richard Brown Lethem, which, by the way, if you look up his paintings, not great. Just so you know. Definitely not great. Not great. I showed them to my wife earlier and fuck. Dude,
interesting to note. Sorry, just a real quick aside. I'm holding up your whole intro,
no,
and I'm not going to do
this. Definitely not.
But you're being very kind to your first. You're being very kind to your first guest. But I went to art school, and I've heard of this artist, and I remember my history of art teacher pointing out some of his work, and all he did is he took a pointer. It is the 90s, so there was no laser pointer. It was just like an actual stick. And he tapped the screen. He tapped the screen because the projector was going. He tapped it, and you could see the shadow going across from the pointer stick. And he just said, "Horse shit," like that. So it's kind of universally agreed.
Anyway, go look him up. Google Richard Brown Lethem. You'll understand exactly what we're talking about. So Johnny Boy, he grew up as the eldest of 3 children in a communal brownstone, which means he was fucking rich. In that, what was back then a rough and radically tense section of Gowanus, get Gowan, Gowanus, later rebranded Borum Hill. So Lethem was described this bohemian, conflict-charged upbringing as thrilling and culturally wide-ranging, even as it exposed him early to the questions of race, class, and neighborhood change that would haunt his fiction. I think what he meant to say was that his typical lullaby was accompanied by sounds of echoed gunfire, disembodied screaming, and police sirens. God, I miss the city. I miss it so much. Jonathan Fathers. Fucking, what am I doing? Fuck.
I'm so glad I'm here for this.
Jonathan's father's painting studio and his mother's activism created a household where art and politics were constant presences. And his younger brother, Blake, by the way, you're about to find out why Blake, I think this is a lie. But Blake would later become an artist tied to the early New York hip hop scene. Glenn,
but
how many people in the New York hip hop scene do you think were named Blake? You see that? You see that being like a good street name?
I like that there's like the early days of breakdancing, and they're like, oh, yeah, now we got whoever on the stage, DJ Quig, whatever, that gets on these dancing, and they're just like, oh, shit, dude, coming up next is Blake, and after him, Tristan.
There's Jordan, y'all. Yeah.
Jordan, and Jordan's doing some crazy leg work, dude. Like crazy leg work.
There's Braden and Keith. And you're like, what? There's Tyler, y'all. Watch Tyler rip it down. Hit him with breakbeat, Grandmaster Flash. Like, dude, come on. There's no fucking way Blake was ever a thing. Anyway, so...
Back to your intro. We got to get you through your intro, so I will shut up. Stop dragging me into this. I just drag out your intro longer than it should be.
That's all right. It can be as long as I want it to be, because this is my podcast. And
that's true. It's your goddamn show.
Your show? Oh, buddy. Listen. Yeah, while it is your name in the show title and branding, I should remind you that this insanity is a team effort, weirdo.
Oh, God, why the hell are you here?
Why am I here? Excuse me? Who the hell in the keep it together. Who is this tidy-whitey wearing, gibbering...
No, I've never had tidy whiteys. I'm a grown man.
Grown man? Well, that's debatable from where I'm standing. You look like the type of man-child that wouldn't even eat his carrots as a child. Yeah, one of those. Point, set, match. Stuck that freaking landing. Mic drop, boy.
All right. Let's just reframe or whatever and move forward.
Well, he started it.
Stop.
Just so we all know.
We'll get through this and just move on. God. All right. So, his younger brother, Blake, who was not a fucking artist in the early hip, there's no fucking way. While his sister, Mara, became a photographer, writer, and translator. And I should have looked up what she translated, but I don't know. I'm assuming Spanish, since it was Brooklyn, and that seems to be it's just Spanish. Everybody speaks Spanish. I wish I was bilingual. I always do. I wish I was.
Yeah.
But one of the key adult figures in his childhood was his fourth grade teacher, Carmen Farina, at PS 29, or as Brooklynites call it, Penis 29. Decades later, Farina would become New York City School's chancellor, and remembering her as the perfect teacher, he would dedicate his first novel, Gun, with occasional music to her. Ain't that all sweet and shit? I don't even know what that book's about. I assume it's about a gun with music. He dedicated it to her.
He jerked off to that teacher. He thought about her a lot in his free time. I get it.
He's in the fourth grade.
I'd do that too.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, I dedicate my first book to my fourth grade masturbation fantasy.
Okay, so as a kid, he developed encyclopedic knowledge of Bob Dylan's music. Jesus Christ. He saw Star Wars 21 times in its original theatrical run. Yeah, I know. And devoured the complete works of Philip K. Dick, whose fusion of pulp genre and metaphysical paranoia became a lifelong influence. Did you get all that? He was a fucking nerd. A fucking nerds. They're the worst. Especially the Star Wars types. My God, does it matter who fucking shot first? Also, Vader couldn't find Luke that whole time? Seriously, he was on Anakin's, his home planet, with the same last name he had as a kid, for fuck's sake. He couldn't track him down. He needed a phone book. He could have looked in a phone book.
Let it go.
Plus, why didn't Darth, wait, hold on, since it was his own daughter he was torturing. If he could sense Obi-Wan crop dusting an office upstairs from a mile away, you would think the force fumes coming off his own fucking daughter would have tripped up his spidey sense. And yeah, I mix nerd references, okay? Listen, hold on.
It's
Marvel
midi-chlorians, okay?
Marvel and Star Wars together? Like, what am I doing? Well, look. Well, if you must know, Marvel published the original comic book adaptations of Star Wars back in the late 70s up through the mid 80s.
God.
So before starting,
nerds.
This is before starting in 1915. Before starting again in 2015. So technically, I'm not mixing references. That's the Star Wars and Marvel universes could exist in the same universe if you want to get into the corporate minutia of it all. And furthermore, I just... Whatever.
It's fine. I would absolutely go see a movie with Anakin Skywalker, but the older Anakin, before he became, he became Darth Vader pretty young. I mean, I don't want to get into the details. I know it's just going to make you angry if I don't get it right.
It's just nerd stuff. It's just, I hate nerd stuff.
But I would love it if all of a sudden, like, Spider-Man showed up, and then Spider-Man is swinging from, like, a Jar Jar Binks neighborhood from building to building. Underwater? I don't know. Doesn't matter. I would love the mashup. It would be fantastic.
It's nerd shit. We don't do nerd shit. Shut up, nerd. All right?
You just went into a lot of detail a second ago. Nerd!
All right. So Lethem initially followed his father's path in the visual art, attending Bennington College in the early 1980s and studying painting before dropping out to, sniff paint.
See more Star Wars movies.
Jonathan's life took a dark turn when he started enjoying his artwork a little too much. More accurately, the smell of it. Soon, he was up to 3 cans a day of spray paint, with gold being his favorite. Before long, though, Lethem began spray painting his entire wardrobe. Why would he do that? So he could sniff paint all day is why. However, this became a problem for Jonathan as he found that the fumes were very inconsistent with him moving around all day, dispersing them, with the spray paint on his clothes. His solution, elegant and genius, to stand in one place, typically in a city park, and getting high off of his own spray paint clothes all day. Oddly enough, he found that people mistook him for a performance artist and would give him money. Spray paint intoxicated Lethem saw this as a win-win. Soon, he was out there in the park every day, getting high and pocketing cash for his spray paint addiction, living the dream. It wasn't long after that other performers saw how much money he was making and started copying his act. So he moved on. Typical. One man's need to get high off of industrial chemical fumes is another's derivative easy money. No one respects true artistry anymore, no. Or, somebody's weird, drugged out, fuming, painted clothes. What is the world coming to?
Imagine him getting all that cash that he got right there on the spot where it's like, hey, performance artist, here's $5. And then he just walks up to a movie theater booth covered in gold paint and just like bloodshot eyes. I would like to see Star Wars again, please.
This is number 19. I'll spray paint it on my clothes. But that was all nonsense. Just so you know, I was just not. That's what whenever I'm writing my way through these biographies, that's what I end up doing.
You're fine. That was fine. Why are you getting down on yourself? You're doing fine. It's your show. You've been doing the show for like 10 years. You're fine.
I know. I just realized that the other day. It's almost been 10.
You're getting high. You're getting hard on yourself because you got a guest on for the first time. Now suddenly you feel like you're inadequate.
No, I'm always inadequate. Birth made me inadequate, buddy. It goes way back. Me and inadequacy.
Is this the small penis again? Your small penis that can only shoot a stream into your belly button?
All right, so back to reality now. Lethem moved cross-country and spent much of his 20s working in bookstores in New York and Berkeley, soaking up literature from behind the counter while writing on the side. In later interviews, he described this period as an immersion in both high literature and low-budget genre paperbacks, a mix that would shape his hybrid, reference-rich fiction. Apprenticeship in science fiction magazines would help him become a marquee literary name. Lethem was a young science fiction writer placing short work in magazines like Isaac Asimov's science fiction magazine, Journal Wired, sure. And New Pathways in the late 1980s and early, I don't know what that magazine is, late 1980s and early 1990s. These stories helped him find a community of speculative writers, including Terry Bisson, I don't know any of these people, Kim Stanley Robinson, and
very well.
Karen Joy Fowler. Grounded him in the science fiction tradition he has never entirely left behind. That apprenticeship eventually, all in, culminated in his submitting a slew of letters to Penthouse and its seminal Penthouse Forum publication. This consisted
It was his canvas.
This consisted primarily of the publication consisted primarily because, maybe younger audience members don't know about Penthouse Forum. So the publication consisted primarily of supposed fan mail, quote unquote, describing various supposedly real world sexual encounters and anecdotes. It was predominantly public. It was a pornographic publication at the time. His breakout success came with a series that would later be known collectively as Cranky Goes to Boom Boom Town, which described... which described a down-on-his-luck clown turning his fortunes around by selling the service of defecating on sleeping farm animals for the erotic enjoyment of a viewing audience. It touched a lot of readers with its heartfelt portrayal of a man who pulled himself up by his bootstraps and figured out a way to figuratively turn his shit into gold. The culmination of Lethem's epic happened sometime in the fifth letter, wherein Cranky is wiping off his grease paint in a dressing room in the back of a porn theater when a young boy knocks on the frame of the open door. He and Cranky have a short, heartfelt talk about the meaning of resilience in the face of what, at times, seems to be a divinely instigated adversity. Lethem colors the exchange with allusions to different mythos, often giving nods to that of the Greek myth of Sisyphus multiple times throughout. Finally, after a warm hug, the boy makes his way towards the door and turns back to ask Cranky what the secret of his success really is. With a knowing glint in his eye, the text reads, Cranky gave a
I shit on things.
Cranky gave a slight, almost paternal grin and replied, "It's all about the fiber, kid. It's all about the fiber."
Oh, it's pretty close. Okay.
One devoted reader later wrote of the series, "Sometimes while I'm reading it, I wasn't sure if I even wanted to masturbate, but I was sure I could cry." Very touching. Very touching in multiple ways. Multiple ways.
I love the guy's like, I can't jerk off to this. And then he just sits in a bathroom and stares at a blank wall, his nose 1 inch away from the wall, and just thinks about what he read. I mean, I thought I was going to jerk off to some, like, shitting on stuff, but...
Oh, that's where my brain goes.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, that's where the book. That's where that author went in his life. I didn't have a shit period.
Glenn, that was all fake. Okay, that was not real. That was me doing.
What? You made that up? All the notes I just took. So I guess I'll just. There we go. There goes my notes. Okay, so everything's bullshit on your show. Okay. I can make a podcast called Glenn Shits on Something a week, and then I don't. I do it once every 6 months. And then when I do talk about it, I'm just making it up. I never shat on anything.
I think there needs to be an episode of Glenn, you, reading Cranky Goes to Boom Boom Town.
If you pull up Cranky Goes to Boom Boom Town, if you can create that for me, I will read it on my show. Even if it's like 2 hours worth of like content, I will read all of it. in the most impassioned voice I have.
I'll write it. I will. It's got to be.
I will read it. If you write it, I just love it. Like, I love that I take a break and I drink a glass of water for a second and I go back to, so I shit in her mouth. She smiled at me with what I will now call an official shit-eating grin.
I will write it in the most pretentious, over-the-top, artsy.
As if you're Charles Foster Wallace.
Charles Foster Wallace. Yes.
Charles Foster Wallace.
Sorry that complete nonsense went way too long. And honestly, while I was writing all that out, I almost blacked out, just so you know. So the shitting thing may have, I didn't mind that. I don't even remember writing most of that.
Why would you black out? Do you hold your breath while you type? I don't understand.
I just get into this frenzy, the writing, especially when I'm talking about scatological stuff. Scatological.
You're the audience.
Scatolofollicles.
You're the audience for this fake Boom Boom Town series of articles. You are the audience for this thing you made up. And you got into a frenzy as you were writing about.
I get so excited. A lot of scatological stuff. A lot of whatever. Scatology. Scatamaran.
That's the beauty of your show. You're not angry yet.
No, not yet.
Yeah. I want you to get angry at your own words.
Yeah, but anyway, that was complete nonsense. I almost blacked out, just like I said a couple seconds ago, when Glenn was just like turning purple. So no, his apprenticeship culminated with a debut novel called Gun with Occasional Music, which he dedicated to that teacher back there. This is a surreal, darkly comic detective story set in a future Bay Area that splices Chandler-esque noir with dystopian sci-fi. Sci-fi. Dystopian SF. And won the Locus Award for Best First Novel. Which, if you've won a Locus Award, you know no one knows what a Locus Award is.
I'm very aware of
the Locus Award. Well, it's Locust, not Locust.
I've been aspiring to it for 15 years.
So maybe that's why you've been entering the wrong contest.
Which one am I going after? Oh, mine's just a bunch of basement nerds that call themselves the Locust Society. And they give out awards.
They're trying to do more plagues. So they're like, we're trying to release tons of locusts. And you're like, I'm trying to write fiction. Tomato.
About plagues. And then they're like, oh, we love your stuff. Yeah.
He followed quickly. Jonathan did, not Glenn. Jonathan followed quickly with a run of inventive 1990 novels. Amnesia Moon in 1995, As She Climbed Across the Table in 1997, and A Girl in Landscape in 1998. These books riffed openly on his influences. Don DeLillo in the academic satire As She Climbed Across the Table, a story that follows a professor, Philip Engstrand, who loses his physicist girlfriend, what the fuck, his girlfriend, Alice Coombs, to a literal nothingness called lack, a void created in a lab that she becomes obsessed with. This is real. That she becomes obsessed with, leading Philip on a metaphysical quest to win her back. Nothing says love like metaphysics. And across, I know, there's a cross between
some weird fetish stuff.
Forrester's A Passage to India and John Ford's The Searchers, transplanted to an alien planet in Girl in Landscape. By the end of the decade, he had become a cult favorite among readers who liked their speculative fiction emotionally acute and intellectually playful and steeped in pop culture. His breakthrough came... Excuse me, I got emotional for a second with my coffee. The breakthrough came with Motherless Brooklyn. Lethem's mainstream breakthrough came... Jesus, why did I just say that twice? Lethem's mainstream breakthrough came with Motherless Brooklyn. Look, I'm just going to enunciate and say Motherless Brooklyn. I'm going to do the whole thing like that. A detective novel narrated by Lionel Esrog, a small-time Brooklyn investigator with Tourette's syndrome constantly fractures his speech. Wait, what? a small-time Brooklyn investigator whose Tourette's, I forgot the whose Tourette's syndrome constantly fractures his speech. The novel both embraces and sabotages noir convention, using using S-Rog's involuntary verbal riffs to explore identity, language, and loyalty, while still delivering a twisty crime plot.
I wasn't prepared for the high notes on
Brooklyn
that
won the National Book Critics Circle Award. I'm just going to do it every fucking time I have to bring it up. Motherless Brooklyn won the National Book Critics Circle Award, which is right up there with the Locus Award. The Salon Book Award, which is right next to the Locus Award, and the McKellen Crime Writers Association Gold Dagger, which is in the garbage next to the Locus Award. And was named Novel of the Year by Esquire. I know that one because it's the only magazine I ever subscribed to that was not pornography. As establishing...
Do you subscribe to some pornography? That's the only one that you didn't subscribe to? Or that wasn't pornography when you subscribed to it? Like, I've subscribed to a lot of pornography. But then I met Esquire. There were no breasts. There was no vaginas. No one was wet. But the articles were as good as any pornography magazine I've ever subscribed to. When I read Esquire,
I think, I can jerk off to this. No.
What is that? Was that Brad Pitt? An expose of Brad Pitt? Hold on. Let me get my incredibly small wiener out.
Like, what is this expose about blood diamonds in Uganda? Oh, someone's excited. I'm going to lose this coffee all over this monitor. All right, establishing Lethem. This all established Lethem as a major American novelist. The fortress of Cranky in the Valley of Nipple Clamps.
Is this another joke like last time? Oh, God damn it. Did I ruin your bit? I just don't want to fall for it. I fell for it last time. I don't want to fall for it this time. I for real fell for it.
You say Jonathan Lethem, who we're going to find out very soon was a MacArthur Grant winner. You think you don't know what the MacArthur Grant is? It's the Genius Award.
Is it the same level as being a Locust
winner? It's
winner?
a little bit higher. It's a Genius Grant. Yeah, it's the Genius
Grant.
Is it? You get a
you get. Oh, is it a Genius Grant? I mean, the Locust boys that put out their winning articles or whatever from their basements. They're pretty intelligent
just
guys.
So you know, it's the MacArthur Genius Grant. Then it's the McKellen Crime Writers Association Gold Dagger, and then there's the Nobel and the Pulitzer if it's a Good Friday. If you're rounding out the weekend, maybe get that Pulitzer in there. But other than that, again, MacArthur Genius Grant, the McKellen Crime Writers Association Gold Dagger.
Where does the Glen Nuzzle's Nipple Milk of Gold award?
You're a little late in the game. He's already won everything. So you're going to have to call him up and give him your reward. Award. I said both. They're both the same. They're the same word.
Bring back the milk. Give me the milk. The Glen Nuzzle's Nipple Milk of Gold. Bring it back, and I will give you the reward.
Okay. In 2003, he published Captain Cranky in the Valley of Nipple Clamps, a semi-autobiographical Bildungsroman.
Here we go.
About two boys. Yeah. One white, one black, one clown. Growing up on a...
The race of clown. Big nose, weird eyes. Funny hair. It doesn't mean they're less intelligent than us.
Oh, man. Growing up on a gentrified Brooklyn block in the 1970s and beyond. The book which
Like
mixes
they're pushing all the
painstaking
clowns
social
out, all the
realism.
gentrification. I'm sorry.
Like, get these fucking clowns out of here. Like,
Great neighborhood, a lot of clowns.
what are you, a clown? Clown?
Exactly.
No. The Jewish guy, the black fella, they can stay. Get that fucking clown out of here. It's like,
I like all the races and religions. Exactly. They're all gathering around, all the races and religions gather around this one clown in the middle of a street, ready to throw stones at him. He just honks his horn kind of sadly. Like, get him!
we speak English around here, not horns. Get him!
You got to move out of that apartment. I want to open up a Starbucks there. Get your clown family out of that apartment building.
Yeah, where you used to live, that's gonna be a Pizza Hut, clown.
But they through the Morse code of clown honking, like it's like I have had 8 generations of clown family grown up and died here in this home. It's like, just get the fuck out, clown. I want to open up a Pizza Hut.
Just a podium in Central Park, into the microphone, just and it says, "We clowns built America. Go on, Slappy son. You tell him."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take your giant shoes and your puffy pants and hit those streets and let them know that us clowns have made this country what it is today. But he's doing this through the whole honking thing at a podium, and there's just a sea of clowns doing this amazing speech, and all the clowns have gathered, and they're getting worked into a lather. They're about to get violent.
So gather your whoopee cushions and your giant shoes.
Exactly.
Our rights are ours. Today we fight.
Yeah. Through the power of honks. Like, do you have a wet fish? Then slap it.
Slap it for your self-respect. Slap it against tyranny.
Take your rubber chickens and wrap it around the necks of the oppressors. You got to get back to your show. Come on, focus.
Okay, so all that was... Okay, none of that was true. Not Cranky. Cranky was not involved.
I knew it.
Yeah, it's...
You almost made me fall for it.
So this book, it's called Fortress of Solitude. It's semi-autobiographical. Billings, I don't know. Is that a genre? I don't know. Billings Roman. I don't know. About 2 boys. I'm going to have to look that up later. Not right now. I don't care. The book...
It's about 2 boys?
It's about 2 boys. One white, one black. No clowns. Growing up on a gentrified Brooklyn block in the 1970s and beyond. The book, which mixes painstaking social realism and comic book motifs, and even a literal magic ring. How is that literal? Magic rings don't exist. But it became a New York Times bestseller and was named... That book, the New York Times bestseller thing's a scam. Anyway.
Oh.
Yes, it's a scam.
We're of the same mind. I love
this. That. You can buy your way into that. And was named...
You can buy your way into it.
It was named one of the paper's editor's choice. I don't know if you can buy your way into that. It was named the paper's editor's choice book of the year. Again, he must work
just
for
a guy
Esquire.
named Steve. Just like, I like this one.
It's like everybody's just...
Look, I don't jerk off and I like this book.
He's like, I've read those letters, and I know the people over at Esquire. We masturbate to the same things, and we both like to masturbate to this. It's my book of the year, gentlemen. And they're like, oh, my God. He named it.
I didn't think that we were a rub magazine, but apparently Esquire now is. A magazine of a man that pulls on it.
The secret board of editors, which I belong to, we only ever vote up any books that we can jerk off to. It's a secret, an open secret amongst the literary literati. So this year, my bait book.
Back to the show.
My bait book is The Fortress of Solitude, gentlemen. And they're like, my God. Take it.
It's a book about a man who's alone and masturbates that I am aroused by, and I masturbate too, creating an echo chamber of masturbation that will go on for generations.
They're like, it's about two boys, right? Growing up in New York. He's like, it is not about the subject. It is about how it is written.
It's about the unspoken clown in the story.
It is about
If you finish it, you realize there's been a clown there the whole time, even though he's never mentioned throughout the book.
The clown is subtextual. Everyone knows this. If you're deep enough into the writing, it is not about the clown that is presented at face value. It is about the clowns that were with us along the way.
In our hearts. The clowns in our hearts. Back to the show. You're losing your own show.
At one point in the book, when the main character looks down and he only sees one set of footprints. And it's Cranky. I wept.
These oversized shoes. Big, goofy feet prints.
When Cranky honks his horn, and it's translated to say, when you only saw one set of footprints.
I was carrying you the whole time.
I carried you.
In my, yeah. When he honks his horn, will you answer, or will you?
It was all subtextual. That's why it's my book of the year. Fucking Lost. Great. The editor's choice book of the year. There it is. Critics seized on its vivid evocation of schoolyard stoops and racial codes. Codes. And Lethem began to be called, in one later formulation, this is wild, the Bard of Brooklyn. What a fuck, what?
Oh,
God,
seriously?
Yes. Range.
Out of the history of Brooklyn, him with his clown shit. Fine.
Across the 2000s and 2010s, Lethem continued to move relentlessly between forms and genres, publishing novels such as Chronic City, a phantasmagoric alternate Manhattan story named a New York Times Best Book of the Year. Oh, I've never heard of any of these. Alongside story collections and nonfictions, collections like The Wall of the Sky, The Wall of the Eye. Collections like The Wall of the Sky, The Wall of the Eye. There's a comma there. Men and Cartoons. That's all one title.
He has two books that sound the same?
No. One book, I fucked up. So here, let me say it again. It's called The Wall of the Sky, The Wall of the Eye, Men and Cartoons. The collapsing frontier. I'm fucking this up, is what I'm doing.
No, it's a stupid title to a book.
I think I'm combining titles. Hold on. This is written weird. I don't know why I did this. I wrote this, and I don't know why the fuck. Collections like The Wall of the Sky. That's one book. No, wait.
Okay.
No. It's The Wall of the Sky, The Wall of the Eye. That's the one book.
I think you did write this weird.
I did. It's called The Wall of the Sky, The Wall of the Eye. That's one book. Then there's Men and Cartoons. That's two books. And then there's The Collapsing Frontier. That's three books. And more recently, A Different Kind of Tension. New and selected stories from the world of Cranky the Clown. That came out in 2025.
Oh, that's fake. I'm calling that one. That's fake. Because you tricked me with the other two.
No, it is. It's called A Different Kind of Tension, New and Selected Stories, 2025. So, I mean, I added the Cranky. I did. I'm gonna start putting.
I hate that I'm falling for all your fake titles. When you said a black boy and a white boy and a clown, I for a moment believed 100% that this was a book that a man wrote.
I think you wanted it to be about it. You're like, I wanted the clown.
Yeah, I want that.
All right, so the showcase short fiction that swings from high concept sci-fi to surreal urban fables. In parallel, nonfiction volumes such as The disappointment, the disappointment artist, and the ecstasy of influence. Assemble essays on film, literature, and artistic appropriation. I'm going to get hate mail. Appropriation.
Yeah, this is not good. What you're doing is not a good thing.
Fucking leaning into it. Arguing against overbearing copyright regimes and insisting that all art is made of other art. Critical.
Let it go.
Critical. Beyond his books.
Let it go.
Why not? Beyond his books. Lethem.
Nope. Nope.
Lethem has become a sought-after critic. Cultural critic. Paul
British, also with the speech impediment? This is amazing.
Well, beyond his books, Lethem has become a sought-after cultural critic, publishing essays in the New Yorker, Rolling Stone, Harper's, and other outlets on subjects ranging from comics to classic rock to literary politics.
I thought the speech impediment in the first half was pretty offensive, but now you've done someone that's deeply inbred from England that doesn't have a functioning jaw like a Habsburg.
In recent years, he has come as a significant arts writer, culminating in Cellophane Bricks, a life in visual culture in 2024. A lustly illustrated collection that he describes as word paintings and eccentric reframing. A visual art by figures like Nat Golden, Manny Farber.
Just talk normal again.
Manny Farber, and his own father.
Thank you.
Critics have noted that this volume, alongside his new and selected stories, forms a kind of dual capstone, revealing how deeply his prose is shaped by not only looking at images, but as well as reading books. Yes. Lethem was awarded, here it is, Lethem was awarded a MacArthur Fellowship in 2005 for fiction that weaves the conventions of noir mysteries, westerns, science fiction, and comic books into coming-of-age tales, and expands the frontier of American literary fiction. He promptly threw it away. And he said, I already won the Locus Award. The fuck do I need a Genius Award for? Fuck you and anyone that gives this shit out. And then, in the style of Cranky, took a dump on it. As one does. It's
sweet
yes,
Cranky.
it brings it back. It's an illusion.
I'm so angry. None of it's real.
Yeah, no, he got the Genius Grant and ran with it. Since 2011, he has taught creative writing. Well, look, he didn't get too far, to be fair. Since 2011, he has taught creative writing at Pomona College in California. He's not at Stanford. He's not pulling a Berkeley, where he holds the Roy Edward Disney 51 Professorship of Creative Writing. That's okay. Yeah. Professor of creative writing and continues to publish fiction and essays. Glenn.
Yeah.
Of the Disney Boys. Of the two Disney boys.
Okay.
Who would you say is the most creative that they should name an award for creative writing and just being creative after it? Would it be Roy Disney or his lesser known brother Walt? I'm just saying, if you were to get an award,
that you would create an award.
If you were to get an award called the Professorship of Creative Writing, wouldn't it be better to have had that made by Walt? I'm just saying, of the Disney boys.
I mean,
would you rather a Roy or a Walt?
The short answer is
be named your.
There was a third Disney brother named Clifton that they kept in the attic because his eyeballs were kind of weird and his teeth were really spaced apart. They didn't really show him to people very often. I'd like to think that he would, but they didn't let him out to gain money, gain notoriety, use his big goofy face to try and become famous and propel other people to fame. So I'm going to say Roy, because Walt was a piece of shit. He's not a good guy.
That's true. I imagine it was Clifton that was like, Walt.
Clifton's like really nice.
Walt, you should draw a mouse. And he's like, shut the fuck up.
He's like, shut up, Clifton. But then later on, he's like, I'll give it a try.
And Roy's
I'll try
like,
a mouse.
who let him out? And he's like, I don't know. I think it was Mom. Fuck you, Clifton. Lethem was awarded the MacArthur Fellowship in 2005 for fiction. I read all that. And then he won that stupid Roy Edward Disney 51 Professorship of Creative Writing and continues to publish fiction and essays. In 2025, he received a Guggenheim Fellowship, which is $500,000, I think. Guggenheim Fellowship in Fiction.
His shit better be good. This guy's getting awards like crazy. Like, once you get into the story, this story better be fucking amazing. For him to get all... This is a guy that sniffed paint, and he chose gold as being the best. So
that was also... What? That was also fake. Glenn, what's going on there?
Damn it! You live in a world of illusion. And you bring me on your show, and now I'm part of the world of illusion.
Word. Yes, that was awesome.
What child can write a book report based off your podcast? Nothing's real.
There are no children listening to this. For information about The Arrest by Jonathan Lethem. Bringing it back. The Fortress of Solitude and the Brooklyn crime novel. Wait, that's that's 20 years apart. Jesus, he's been doing this a while. Anyway, he got a Guggenheim Fellowship, which I wish I could get, but I'm not a writer. As a slow-motion trilogy about Brooklyn's transformation from the 1970s through the end of the century. How's that a trilogy? Whatever. It doesn't I don't care. Critics left him some...
I like that you wrote this script and you're angry at yourself for your bad writing.
I'm so fucking...
Who the fuck wrote this?
What? Like, I left one out. It doesn't... How do you have a trilogy with just... Oh, no. Never... Motherless Brooklyn, and then The Fortress of Solitude, and then Brooklyn crime novel. There it is. I'm an idiot. Critics and Lethem himself often describe his work as genre-defying. He loves the conventions of noir, westerns, science fiction, of course, and comics, but habitually strains against and violates their boundaries, like a clown taking a dump on a sleeping farm animal.
Which I've learned is not real.
Not, but it could
the
be.
Show. I'd like it to be, but you should have never told me that the stuff's fake until the very end.
Well, I can edit that out.
It's like being a hypnotist, and at the end of like the hypnosis session, you're like, I had you shit on yourself. I had you believing that this was real. I had you believing this is real. You're like, what? Really? Oh, God damn it. But nope, I'm seeing it happen in real time. Are the awards real?
Yes.
Did he really win all these awards?
Even the dagger.
That's a real award.
Yes. The gold dagger thing. I don't know. It's up there. It's further up than whatever. He loves comics and eventually strains against and violates their boundaries. The MacArthur Foundation notes his narrative leaps between vastly divergent genres, while his speaker's agency calls attention to how he weaves graphic novel energy and I got none of this from the book I read, and pop culture riffs into emotionally serious stories of coming of age, friendship, and loss. He also foregrounds influence itself, riffing on Raymond Chandler, John DeLillo, and Philip K. Dick, among others, and has argued in The Ecstasy of Influence that borrowing and appropriation are not defects, but the basic materials of art. Stealing is art a la Andy Warhol. So, just so you know, there it is. On the page. Lethem's style.
Move forward.
Often mixes crackling, jokey dialogue with sudden lyricism and bursts of metafiction. A tendency some critics compare to Pynchon, or earlier postmodernists. His fiction returns to Pynchon, yes.
Thomas Pynchon.
Right on. Tell us about Thomas Pynchon. Go ahead, Glenn. He has a penis, I imagine. His name is Thomas.
I'll close one eye if I can't hear what you're saying, but you can just kind of move forward and keep doing your thing. You don't have to have Glenn jump in, but I'll close one eye like you're breaking up. It doesn't mean you got to change anything you're doing. Just keep talking.
Right.
But then when I let the eye go, you're back to normal.
Right on.
That's how you'll know. But you just keep moving forward. Act like it's not happening. Just enjoy yourself.
Enjoy myself.
Enjoy the fucking ride, dude. Put the butter down your throat.
I see.
Just slide the whole stick down your throat and then pull it back out again. And then just let it warm up and then put it back down again. And just keep enjoying yourself.
Very strange way to enjoy butter. But sure, right on. I understand. I understand the flow, the feeling, the method, or whatever.
It's about a moist esophagus, about a smooth esophagus.
Yeah, that's what I hear. That's what I'm hearing. I don't know what you
Move
think.
forward. Okay.
On the page, Lethem's style often mixes crackling, jokey dialogue with sudden lyricism and bursts of metafiction. A tendency some critics compare to Pynchon. Is right? Did I say right? Pynchon?
Thomas Pynchon. I think it's Thomas Pynchon, unless I'm just making up the first name.
Pynchon? Tommy Pynchon?
I could be saying it wrong.
Tom Pynchon.
For all I know.
Tom.
I think it's Thomas
Okay.
Pynchon.
It's Tom Pynchon, or earlier postmodernists. His fiction returns repeatedly to Brooklyn and to the experience of being an outsider socially, racially, psychologically. Wow. Whether in the form of a Tourettic detective or a white kid in a changing black neighborhood, moving on up, or disoriented New Yorkers wandering a half-surreal cityscape. Recent criticism of collections like A Different Kind of Tension emphasizes how often his stories double back on the act of storytelling itself, and often using self-conscious narrators and genre games to question what fiction can and cannot do in the face of political and personal crisis. Now we talk about The Arrest. One of the it pissed me off. It didn't piss me off. It frustrated me. It frustrated the
I love
fuck.
It pissed me off. It did not piss me off.
I think that was violence in my wording. It wasn't hatred. It was just annoying disappointment that just kept going. All right, so the story, it's the thing is, the disappointment was with myself. I think this is fucked up. I think he's such a good writer that he makes me question whether how much of an idiot I am. Like, how much did I miss? How much did I fuck up in reading his work? Like, I'm the moron. But then again, maybe it's just a bad fucking book. I don't know. See, it's one of those, like, he's so good. He's a Genius Award-winning Guggenheim. He won a Locus, for God's sakes, and a Gold Dagger. What did I win for reading? Nothing.
Put him up against someone, I don't know, just off the top of my head. Charles Foster Wallace.
I'd say he's a little...
Do you think he's on that caliber? Or are they part of the same genre of writers?
I would...
Where you just don't know if they're good or not, as a common man.
I would say that he's far more structured than Wallace, but far less meticulous in detail. He's more of a Lethem in a world full of better writers. No.
But also a genius. I love that these is so as a man that went to art school, I witnessed a lot of people that had big ideas for their paintings and for their prints and for everything else they were doing, but the execution was subpar. But man, they got all the accolades, they got grants, they got everything, and everyone else that was doing like illustration and stuff. Like I started out majoring in illustration, but we're all just like looking at them. It's like, you made a 6-foot-tall painting of a fetus with a little fist, and he's angry, and it's called A Fetus Going Crazy. The title is called A Fetus Going Crazy, and you got a big story behind why it's going crazy, but it's like a really shitty painting with a fetus with a little fist. And this person's getting grants, and their stuff showcased in the school with a spotlight on it in the hallways. You have to walk past it to get to class. Like, this thing sucks. It's 10 feet tall, but it sucks. I wonder if this author, because I've never read any of his stuff, so I'm talking out of pure ignorance. is it on that level? Is there just an arena of writers that are just like all concept, but the execution's not great, but they get all the accolades? Is that kind of what's happening here? Or am again, I've never read this, so I have no idea. Just from what you're saying, I'm gathering.
See, I'm fucking terrible. I really am. I got to read a book twice.
You never read one?
Yeah.
Your pod?
It's I have a lot of things read to me by children that I pay off with candy. Yeah, from my van.
Which explains why it's called Elton Reads a Book a Week. You don't read a book a week, and also you have other people read it to you that are probably slower at reading than you are.
Okay. No, I do.
This episode's been an entire facade. It's been a farce. And your concept of your show is based on lies. You should have the children review the stories that they read to you.
I read a book a week, roughly.
Okay.
But I don't make an episode a week. I think you're conflating the two. These are all books that I've read.
I mean, it's
but I read.
Dishonest.
It's not dishonest.
Compared to what the title of the show.
I didn't say I read two people a book a week or an episode a week even. But it's just that I read a book a week, which I do. That's how I read this fucking arrest.
Glen has solid movements per week. But also it's just like, well, I had the 3 weeks in a row where it was not solid. It was very loose, like toothpaste. But and you're like, well, whatever. My podcast can be whatever the fuck I want it to be. I don't care what the title says.
That's true. See, these are books that I've read. And I just want to make a record of books that I've read. Not necessarily that they're great. I think all books.
Well, talk about this book. We're getting off the rails a little bit, and it's my fault.
No, it's not your fault. This is making to me a more compelling episode about the arrest. More compelling.
You have to edit the fuck out of.
No.
It's gonna be like a 5-hour long episode.
Fine. It's only an hour. It's fine. The story is set in. I'll explain why this is just. The story is set in a future where technology simply stops working. The event known as the arrest. Oh, there's multiple reasons for the arrest. I'll even do some spoilers in this fucking episode. I'm doing spoilers. Wow. Fuck it.
Well, call them out so listeners have a chance to dip out before you start talking about how I thought of this whole story when my Walkman stopped working when I was on the bus. And then I thought, like, what if everything stopped working? And then that's the reason why I wrote about the main character having cancer and died. Like, you got to give people a warning.
I will give them I will try and remember with my terrible memory.
Hold on. Let me jump in here before everything gets worse. It's time for some ads. Yay. If you prefer an ad-free experience, consider joining the Patreon for a paltry $5 a month. You'll get the episodes early, ad-free, and lots of extra stuff like chastising Elton personally and at your leisure. Come on, that's worth at least $5 on its own. So join now. The link is in the description. Until then, enjoy these sponsors. I know I will.
The story is set in a future where technology simply stops working, and the event is known as the arrest. It wasn't a violent explosion or a war. It was a quiet quitting of the world's machinery. Planes landed or crashed. Again, by the way, just illusion. Just vague. Happened a while back. No one's really sure. They all call it the arrest, and it never, ever identifies what it was. Ever. It's frustrating as fuck. Fine. It's frustrating. But the internet vanished, and the global hum of electronics just fucking up and died out like dying. But most of
it's a concept. That's fine.
But most of the action in this book takes place in a coastal Maine community called Sandy Cove.
No, for
yes. Here, life has regressed to a pre-industrial pace. There's people that farm and people that barter and people that live relatively peaceful lives, if somewhat fucking dull lives.
Except for the part where like the women are walking around with their tits out because no one wears clothes anymore, just grunting like animals.
See, you would have more clothes than you ever needed in your whole life when the world goes to shit, because people will just kill themselves and you can just take their clothes. They have closets full. You can rummage through people's houses. Do you think they're taking their whole wardrobe with them? No, it's whatever they can stuff in a backpack to search for canned food or whatever. They're going to be like...
I love you're stumbling through a town. You're like, is that a fucking members-only powder jacket? Holy shit. I haven't seen much. I'm taking this off this... Yeah, most of its juices have soaked into the fibers, but that's fine. I can scrub it off in the stream, and I got a beautiful fucking members-only jacket, dude. It's a powdered jacket.
They're like, whoever's with you is like, no, we need to find some kind of, I don't know, some kind of, how do you get blood out? How do you get blood and feces and pus and whatever decay?
Well, the same way that you clean off all your turds. You take them in a bucket down to the stream, you rinse them off, you put them back in the bucket, and they're clean. You can reuse them. Same thing with this powdered fucking jacket. And the friend's like, can we split the jacket? Can I wear it like on even days? Like, no, this jacket's all mine. You fucking
find your own body. All right, you find your own person that could not take the arrest and just off themselves. Good luck, buddy. You only have the whole world. And as soon
as he gets the powdered jacket, he looks over to another corpse. Another corpse. He's like, oh, Jabot jeans. Oh shit. They're fucking lime green, dude. And he runs over. The friend is like, oh, I wish I could have got those. I'd wash those in a stream. Oh, he's got a bucket of turds. I guess I'll just take these turds down to the stream and just give up trying. Back to your story.
So the main character, the protagonist, is a guy named Alexander I can't fucking say this name. Duplessis. Duplessis. It's French. It's Duplessis. Duplessis.
I like that as you say it, you throw up a little bit.
Duplessis. I don't know. Alexander Duplessis. He's the protagonist, and he's a script doctor that used to live in Hollywood before the arrest. Now he acts as, his other name is Journeyman. That's the name he's taken upon himself. He's basically a delivery man for the shitty fucking Maine town where they give him all the shit to take to the next fucking guy. He's a delivery man and a general fixer in the community. He's kind of like the middleman, passes on information. He's basically no harm to anyone. He's kind of everyone's lame lapdog idiot boy. He lives in the shadow.
He's a useful idiot. He's literally the only conduit to the rest of society, but he's still a useful idiot.
Yeah, he walks around, and they're like, so what's the word from in town? Journeyman. And then he's like, man.
And they slap him in the back of the head.
They're like, did you bring me my cheese whiz, boy? Like, that's... But he lives in the shadow of his sister, Maddie. She's a fierce organic farmer and community leader. She's actually a chick with attitude. She's got she's a lesbian, and she just takes care of shit. She has a farm. The whole thing is Journeyman went to this town before the arrest to visit his sister, and after the arrest happened, he just happened to stay there because he had nowhere else to go and was afraid to die wherever he went. Should he leave? As one does. And then, the status quo of this little town where everybody just kind of farms and gives food to each other, and they have journeymen take letters to other people. And there's some guy there that molested somebody, and they've relegated him to an island that no one talks about. He goes and visits him sometimes. Oh, he's actually, I'll tell you in a little bit, but he's actually one of the more interesting people. And then there's eventually, the whole status quo, the whole world is shattered when this guy named Peter Todbaum, that's his last name, shows up. And he's a former Hollywood producer that used to work with Journeyman, and he's his friend. He arrives at Sandy Cove, and he rolls in driving a thing called the Blue Streak. It's a massive nuclear-powered, all-terrain super vehicle that looks like a high-tech fortress on wheels. It's got a fucking drill bit at the front of it, so it can drill into shit. And he's technically the character Todbaum is a catalyst for conflict in the world. He represents the old world ego. He claims to have driven across the devastated post-apocalyptic America in his blue streak stolen vehicle, you find out. And he just happens to end up in the town because he vaguely remembers the Maddie, his sister, Journeyman's sister, living there. So he goes all the way across town, all the way across the country to be like, I wonder if they're there. And then he runs into him. Apparently, he's been searching for this Journeyman kid the entire time. So they bring with him comes stories of the Cordon, which is a people that live outside of the village. They're like, this is terrible, but they've converted bikes to run on shit.
Again, another lie because I want this to be true.
No, it's true. It is.
This isn't like the clown thing.
There's no cranky clowns.
This isn't like the fake names for awards.
No, I didn't know. Those were real awards. The Dagger, all those were. I am terrible at making fake award names.
It's like a hall of mirrors. I have no idea what's happening in this show.
No, the Cordon is a group of people outside the society that make bikes that run on shit. It's fucking weird.
I'm making notes. I have questions when you're done.
So and this is true too. Inside this blue streak machine vehicle is a cache of high-end espresso. There's an espresso machine in there. So he brings this with him across the United States, and then when he gets there to the town, he starts telling all these stories of all the things that happened to him and stuff along the way, kind of making the boring life in Maine a little. People start gathering around wanting to hear about the outside world that they don't go and visit. And then there's a thing called the Cordon, which is the outside people that are like violent. They like, so there's like this tension between the Cordon people and then the people in the town. And so then this is a spoiler. There's an actual
I'm glad you're calling it out.
There's an actual battle that happens. And it's because people want to take Todbaum's blue streak vehicle thing. Only earlier in the book, Todbaum does gross things you're led to believe to Maddie. When Maddie goes and visits Journeyman, whatever the fuck his name is, Duplessis. Duplessis. Whenever she goes to visit him in Hollywood, where he's a script doctor for Todbaum, he gets her alone and does. It doesn't explicitly say things, but it alludes to it. She kind of doesn't talk about it and leaves. The spoiler is they trap. I shouldn't say this in case anybody wants to read.
Don't say a dinosaur.
No, they. They can't.
And also, dinosaurs are real, and clowns are a race of people. Go on.
They garden a lot, and then they're like, also, we do DNA reconstruction on the side. But we don't have fucking TVs. But anyway.
Right.
So they end up actually trapping him in his... This is a big spoiler. Anyway.
Go on. I'm fine. I'm the guest. I'm not going to read this book, so go on.
So Maddie is smart. She's headstrong. She's a tough chick. She ends up because Todbaum, the bad guy who represents the old world before the arrest. They end up his, which by the way is nuclear and has started to leak or something. I don't know. They trap it on top of her, and they keep him there just as a warning to all the other people who want to bring, I don't know, out stories. It's the post-apocalypse, and it is one of the most fucking boring post-apocalypse. Anyway, Todbaum tries to seduce the town with his stories and technology, while Maddie views him as a parasite. The novel concludes not with a bang, but with a rejection of the narrative Todbaum tries to spin. Eventually, the last vestige of the high-tech past in a way that allows Sandy Cove to return to its quiet, unhurried reality. So they fucking the key. Now, here, look. Here's some things that I took from it. I tried.
Oh, is that the end of the story? Is that like you've told the story now? That
was a basic synopsis of it. Yes. No. Wait a minute. Hold on a second.
I have questions. Okay. But go ahead. Go ahead. I have questions. But
no. I want to hear your questions about this. I don't know how you would have any questions. It's pretty fucking.
It's pretty. There's a big bow on top of this. I don't understand how you got any questions about this. Every mystery's been answered by the end of the book.
It is, but as you will understand. Okay, I tried to dig. I went through it again. I didn't read through it again. I was just like, there's got to be some. So I figure, Journeyman, the Duplessis guy. He's a former script doctor, and he's obsessed with how stories are told. He does. In the book, he goes over story structure. Him and Todbaum, they come up with this whole sci-fi world-building thing. And so he uses the arrest, the end of the world thing, and he kind of tries to explore what happens with how civilization is scripted out at beginning, middle, and end. And that happens. It's a recurring theme. Okay. The idea of progress and the hero's journey, which this book fucking just stabs in the face. And then there's so everything is deleted, more or less. And Todbaum shows up and tries to get everybody back on board with that pre-notion. And so this world that has simplified itself just refuses to go along with it. So it's like it's almost about the rejection of tech by removing it, by removing the crutch of electronics, and Lethem examines what remains of that. And for real, it's just the boring shit. like, are we better off with the noise, or are we just more bored with the noise? And that like it's stripped away, and this is what actual life is gardening and riding a bike and delivering fucking food to people so they don't starve, and just getting to know people in a face-to-face way, even though they don't trust you. So there's no trust there, and you have to build a rapport. Is that all just like technology and this technology is just fuck that all up. So if you strip it all away, this is what's left. This is what the real world is. And so at the core of the book is this toxic dynamic between Journeyman, who's the simple, he's not simple in that way.
but he's called Journeyman, which lets you know everything you think of when I say Journeyman. Yes. That is this character. Yes. Stop thinking about it.
Yes, it is very on the nose. And then at Todbaum, it's like a meta-commentary on the creative industry, kind of. The fixer, the guy, the script doctor, which is Journeyman, and Todbaum, who basically pays him for his ideas. So at the end of it, it's like Todbaum shows up and all he has is stories, but no one's ever sure if they're real or not. And so at the end of it, they him up on top of oh
my god, damn it.
Yes, exactly.
Can I step in for a minute?
Sure.
So first of all, I have not read this book. I'm going off of what you're telling me about the book. I did not look it up on Wikipedia. I know nothing about it. But the way you describe this book, I imagine if you're going to you're on the bus and you're listening to Ministry on your Walkman.
Is that bus short?
And
it's a short bus? It's a short bus.
It might be a short bus, yeah. A special one. Like as an adult, it's like, no, I need the short bus. I can't take the big ones. This one just takes me to Walmart and back home again. So he's on the bus with his Walkman. That's like bright yellow colored. It's supposed to be waterproof, but it's never been waterproof. He's tried it and it actually wrecked it for a while. He had to wait for it to dry out again. And so then and all of a sudden his Walkman dies because he tried to do the water trick again that morning before he got on the bus. And so then he realizes like, oh, what if technology died? So then you would think, okay, here's my premise. technology has died, but I want to talk about how it died. I want to talk about life after it died. Okay, fine. You can do that. That's totally fine. Like there's all sorts of literature and movies and stuff written about kind of like the aftermath.
That is in the book. Yes, that's brought up. Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. So that's fine. That's great. Whatever. Move on. But think it out. So it's like, okay, so I got this guy who's kind of like the earthy all man, like this old style kind of man. And I don't know, my placeholder name for him is Journeyman. I'll figure it out later. But then his his fucking laptop died or something, or like the spell check or the find and replace wasn't working. It's like, oh, it's just like my Walkman. The find and replace isn't working. That just makes my book even more important. I'll just leave Journeyman in there. And so then there's the script writer guy or whatever who Todbaum. Todbaum comes in on what's a vehicle that has survived the arrest, and the only name he can come up for it is Blue Streak.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Is it the cheesiest thing you've ever heard of in your entire life? Yes. Mm-hmm. Does he explain why it actually has a name that everyone respects and calls out and says its name in full every time they refer to it? No, probably not. Unless there's something I'm missing with like, well, no, it's because Blue Streak was like a guy who was a famous runner in the Olympics, and after the arrest happened, he ran across all continents. And so this guy has a vehicle that he calls the Blue Streak. I don't know. Whatever. So in the end, he's got something called the Blue Streak, but how did it survive the arrest? Well, in this author's lazy mind, he goes, well, it's because it's nuclear energy. You can't stop that, except it takes technology to make nuclear energy work. Otherwise, it melts down. That's why whenever in Ukraine they cut power and they attack plants, the biggest worry is, oh God, all the cooling systems have stopped, and that shit's just going to start melting down, and everyone's going to have radiation going all across Europe. But Blue Streak survived somehow, based on cranks, just pulling levers with his bare hands to keep the cooling system happening, and God knows what else. Bikes that run on shit. You said you're not lying with that, and I want to believe you. Okay.
The Corden have made it to where even not Todbaum, Journeyman is like, I don't know how they did it, but for real, when they run around on these bikes, which are comically slow, apparently. They're comically slow, and they've run on shit because whenever they're around, the bikes smell like shit. So they converted shit into diesel, I imagine, and they run it on that, but somehow it still retains. I don't know. They've made bikes run on shit.
So unless the name Blue Streak has some kind of meaning that I'm missing, so that Blue Streak becomes symbolic, even though it's outside of the reality of the world he's created.
It's a Martin Lawrence movie from 1999. So, yeah. No, I don't know. That has nothing to do with anything.
Does that have anything to do with cool cars?
No. Okay. It's just it has to do with Martin Lawrence, and Martin Lawrence is kind of gross to his coworkers. But other than that, no.
Oh, we know that. Yeah.
That's about it.
God bless him. God bless him. Keeping that edgy 2000s vibe alive. So bikes that run on shit, I guess, okay, so fine. Blue Streak is just like this anomaly that somehow survived. Well,
according
so then fine.
In the book, hold on, Todbaum, I guess whenever the arrest happens or whatever, he gets lumped in with a bunch of billionaires, zillionaires, who have told him before this is happening that they have this technology or they've had these things built just in case. And when it happens, they aren't able to get to it. But he remembers this thing's around, so he gets to it. And so he jumps into it and takes off with it.
So they made a magic technology that can survive the arrest. Okay,
yes,
fine, whatever.
Some billionaire
that's the premise.
people, but he's like, that's the thing, is they made all this stuff in preparation for it, but they never knew when it was going to happen. So when the shit goes down and you're far away from your thing, well, you're not going to get to it, and you spent all that money for nothing. But he happened to keep it in the back of his head, so then whenever the shit did go down, he made his way to it and found it, and went.
And it magically worked. Yeah. Okay, so it's magic technology that can survive outside of the arrest.
Nuclear powered. It's got its own.
Well, nuclear power, like I just said, needs technology. Right. It needs electric functions and stuff to keep it from melting down.
It fuels itself. It gathers things around it. It's magic. Yeah, it's magic. Magic.
Okay, so it's magic. Okay, so fine. You made magic technology that can survive the arrest. Okay, fine. I don't think bikes that run on poop is part of a magic technology that people have discovered. Maybe, but I don't think so. Also, fine, the bikes that run on poop is symbolic. It's not a technical thing anymore. We're not doing it in a post-apocalyptic kind of scenario. Now these bikes that run on poop is giving some kind of message about like what they're trying to say in the story. Except, bikes, you pedal bikes is the whole point of a bike.
Which is what Journeyman runs around does poop? On. He has a bike.
He pedals his bike. Okay, so they got ones that run on poop. So it's making a statement, I guess. But then, how does the blue streak run into this statement? Except there's just magic technology. So nothing's really working out. And then they trap the vehicle on top of it. Yes. How do they get a whole vehicle? How big is this? Is it that you can drive your car up to the top of? I don't understand that part. That part confuses me. Or is it, guys, stair steps? So they get the vehicle to the top. How they did it. But the point is, this, from what you've told me, if you're going to have me guest on your show, burp, I should probably read the same book at the same time so I can have actual real input. I'm basing it off of everything that's come out of your mouth.
That's fine.
And half the stuff that's come out of your mouth has been lies this whole time. So I don't know what my opinion is skewed. But from what you've told me, the end of the story, I get the symbolism. They're putting it up on like a pedestal kind of situation. Whether they choose to use it or not, they're recognizing it as an aspect of this existence of this culture. I get that.
So you can see it for miles.
Oh, is that why it's called Blue Streak? Okay, well, here we go.
It's nuclear, so it's bad that it's glowing.
Well, and that's where I fall into it. You got the bikes that poop or run on poop. I like to think they have little exhausts that poop. Kind of like the thing from the Detroiters that showed the Detroiters where they go to the rich guy's house. He's like, "Do you like my robot woman?" She's like this big rubber thing that comes over and drops like plates of spaghetti on the table. And he goes, "You could have her if you want her. She's very beautiful." And then he goes like, come see this car that I spent millions of dollars like doing a prototype of, and it has no emissions, but it produces emissions by dropping turds out of its gas pipe. It just keeps dropping one turd after another the entire time they're talking. So I imagine these bikes, I like to think of it that way, but it's not the way it is.
Sure.
It runs on poop. So fine, that's symbolic. The fact that the blue streak exists, I guess is symbolic. Why bother being technical about all the technology? Because you've got magic technology, the reason why the blue streak runs. And then people can create bikes that run on poop, which is a technology that allows them to make their bikes run on poop. So just get rid of the technical aspects of it and just say, you know what? Some stuff works and some stuff doesn't. This is a book that's all symbolic. You're basically reading Moby Dick. And it just leave it there. But the fact, the way you described it, it sounds like there's like it's like his Walkman broke on the bus, and he's like, "Hey, that's a great premise, but now I'm gonna throw that premise out the fucking window. I'm not gonna look into it. I don't care. Bikes run on poop. Fuck them. You guys do yoga, and then this guy's got a car that runs on the nuclear energy, and I don't care. It's a crane that uses gas and electricity. I don't give a shit. It's a you reader. That's what I'm getting from this book so far.
That's the thing. It's supposed to show that all the vehicle does is consume, and it doesn't really do anything for anybody other than make espresso. And
yeah, it makes espresso. Yeah, so it's all symbolic. It's symbolic of like decadence.
Yes, and that's and compared to the basic ass world that it's in. So it's just like a comparative kind of thing. Contrast.
I get it. I guess I get caught up from the way you're describing it. I get caught up in like, well, the premise is all technology stopped. That's the arrest. It's called the arrest, and also
yes,
but. Okay, so the premise, okay, fine. So it's all symbolic. Got it. But like, as an author, you could say, hey, if all technology stopped, what happened to people with pacemakers? What happened to people that are living, you could dip into that a little bit, talk about it.
Oh.
But it's like, no, shut up. This is about cars and bikes on poop.
There's a part in this. There's a part in it where Todbaum goes off about how books like The Road and all these literary post-apocalyptic books, they tend to become self-indulgent, living in their worlds, in their post-apocalyptic worlds, building them out and really just milking them for to be some morality tale that doesn't exist in the real world. So earlier in the book, him and Journeyman are trying to make a script out of this post-apocalyptic world that they're writing. And that's where he's like, like all these literary post-apocalyptic things, they make all this shit about the post-apocalypse being this, like it's always a hellscape. But but they really just milk it. That's all they talk about is the world building. and so while you're reading the book, you're like, he just has complained about that, which I think is the most interesting part of those books. And he's just eliminated it and made it about a farm town that has a big fancy car come to it. Like Doc Hollywood. But everyone hates Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
Like they take his car and they're like, fuck you Parkinson prick. Like, you Parkinson's having shaky fuck. You're relegated to... Everyone hates you, Marty McFly, fuck you. And so, we don't need your shit here. But also, I'm leaving something very important out of the book.
Okay, before you get to that, I guess this makes... Besides Elton reads a book a week, this makes... a really good podcast, which is one guy reads a book and describes it, and the other person has to decide if they like it. Because you saying that about how they're...
I don't expect anyone to
No,
go.
I'm not going to read it. No, I'm not going to read it. It sounds like horseshit.
I found this in a Dollar Tree, I think. So, I mean, come on.
Oh, well, there you go. Weird, because you won a lot of awards.
I know.
You couldn't find it in your local library. So anyways... I think what's interesting about this is because just that last thing you said about how they're complaining that books like The Road are milking their post-apocalyptic scenario while they're living in their own absurd post-apocalyptic scenario makes me think like, oh, is that also a reflection on them being ignorant in the world they're living in, complaining about this fake post-apocalyptic world they've read about in The Road? So everything is symbolic.
Everything's meta. Yes.
Maybe there's more to this book that I pick up if you weren't the one telling me about it.
I told you, I'm terrible.
So maybe it's not...
I'm terrible at the meta.
Maybe it's not that bad. Maybe it's not that bad. Based on it, just hearing it from your mouth, it sounds like shit, so you should never write a book.
Oh, no, definitely not. 100%. Yeah, no. I don't have the skills to write a book at all. Terrible.
Yeah, this book's a mystery to me now. Is it horrible, or is it like... Okay. Did this guy deserve his awards? I don't know. But what's the big mystery thing that you left out?
Have you ever heard of the Pillow Book?
No.
Oh.
Is this like a porn thing? Like a fetish thing?
No, in the arrest, there's a character that is relegated to this mystery island. It's not a mystery island. It's an island by a lake where this guy's done bad stuff to children. And so
God, I was going to make an Epstein joke and then you just handed it to me.
Well, he does, and the victim herself is like, we shouldn't kill him, we should ban him or exile him. So they exile him to some cabin by the woods, by the lake, and Journeyman goes out there and brings some stuff, food or news from town or whatever, because this guy's not allowed to go into town. So he asked Journeyman, could he find him a copy of the Pillow Book? And Journeyman's like, I don't know what that is. And it's a real book. And I got into it. Like, I checked it out. And it's fucking awesome. So, okay.
It's good.
The whole point is, the guy says he wants to write his version. And he just wants to refresh. He read the original Pillow Book a long time ago. And he wants to write his version. Now, and I was like, I'd never heard of this. It's a real thing, because I thought, maybe it's made up or whatever. But basically, it's like a diary of events, like a blog, but in book form. So he's like, I want to make my own,
Okay.
but I just want to read the original one. And I never knew this thing ever existed. So the Pillow Book, it's the 11th. Okay. So it's the 11th century, Japanese imperial court, right? And it was,
Oh, wow.
so everybody's just, it's a court. So everyone's scheming and whispering amongst each other.
Sure.
And, and it's just a lot of shit going on. It was a lot of misplaced poetic illusion, and it just a lot of social ruin. Everyone's just turning on each other. So in that context, the Empress gets paper, like a stack of paper. Paper's very hard to make back then. And so she gets a stack of paper gifted to her by some fucking craftsman. And so they get this paper together and they give it to her, and she's like, well, I don't know what to fucking do with it. So she hands it to one of her ladies in waiting, whose name is, oh my God, Sai, which is S-E-I. Okay? So she's like, here, do something with this. So she starts writing about her day, making lists, little stories about what's going on in the court, people she's boning, all kinds of crazy shit. And just writing it down, never intending for, this is all real, never intending for anyone to ever read it.
Wait, this is
It's a real book.
The Pillow
It's called The Pillow Book.
It's an actual real diary. It's a real diary.
It's like a diary / current affairs book that was happening around the circuit.
Oh, I thought it's a story about this scenario. So this is an
It's an
actual.
actual
This
real
is
book. You
like
can read it.
Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. Is the actual real
Yes,
diary.
it was written about 1,000 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Fuck Todd again." It was hot.
It's been translated tons of different times. And what's crazy about it is because it's so matter of fact and written in regular language, that you can't really bend it one way or the other. There's no political angle to it. It's just her life. So much so that this chick, Sai Shogunan. I'm going with Shogunan.
Look at you, remember the name. Good for you.
Shogunan is not her name. It means lady in waiting. So her real name is Sai. So she takes the papers and she writes all this shit in it. And this book was discovered by accident. She was in the court or whatever, and she left it on one of the sleeping in one of the rooms. She just happened to leave it by this mat, this pillow, or whatever, and somebody else staying at the whatever it's called, the mansion, whatever the shit.
How do you have this book full of all your darkest secrets and then just leave it in a hotel and then not go back and get it again?
Well, that's the thing. She's writing in it. She fucking, she's like, whatever. And someone finds it, reads it, and starts copying it. And so it starts circulating. And so much so that she's like, certain things in it are a little, so there's like funny shit in it, and she writes in kind of a snarky kind of way sometimes. It's very like a woman writing a fucking blog back in the day, 1,000 years ago. So she writes all this shit in it, and because it becomes so popular in the court, she actually starts editing the thing on the fly. So like, she's like, no, I didn't say that. What I really said was this. And so Jesus, why is this thing blurring all the time?
It doesn't matter. Well, now it's back. It's
so
fine.
she edits it. So she puts different papers out there about the same stories, but written in a different way. So much so that no one even knows what the original one was anymore. But it's just written in a way that is just like someone's everyday life 1,000 years ago in a Japanese court.
Yeah.
And people are like, this is like it's just like a regular person wrote a historical record that's been passed down. So much so that in Japan, they have little medallions and stuff of this chick's face on their purses.
Oh, really?
She's like a feminist icon thing.
Well, look at that.
It's crazy. And I got really into it. I was like, Jesus, like it's been passed down. It's taught in universities. It's a famous
That's
Japanese
weird.
literature.
Why does the pervert in the story want this?
Oh,
the pervert on the island by the lake.
Because he wants to well, here's what's crazy. Is he copies down just the events of the day, whatever Journeyman tells him. He's like, I want to make my own so that someone down the line, just like this pillow book thing, she never intended it to be read. So she wrote down things that were happening that day. And here they are, or here he is in the book 1,000 years later, reading this stuff that this lady just wrote down from day to day, never intending. So it's like a moment in time. So he's like, I want people to have this moment in time that I want to be part of it, and it'll just be passed on, and maybe they find it, maybe they don't, but it's something for me to do. And so at the end of the book, spoiler, because I told you.
Well, didn't he rape kids, or am I making that up?
No. He did. Apparently, he diddled some. I don't know. It's alluded to. It's never explicit, but
so his entries are. Pretty scary day. A plane flew into a building in New York, and I thought maybe that was a mistake. But then the second plane flew into the other building, and they fell down. And I don't feel like America's safe. From our borders aren't safe from terrorists and people coming to attack us. The world is different than I grew up realizing it. I masturbated to child porn I found online today. And then he's like, this isn't like the pillow book. And he hung himself.
Well, he just, I guess
he's a failed writer. Don't have anything good.
But the guy in the book writes this book, and at the very end of the book, Todbaum's reading it to, or not Todbaum, because he's kind of imprisoned up there. And
it's symbolic. It's his pride, but he's trapped by his pride. So I get it. Even though it shouldn't exist.
And so he's reading this pillow book. And so it shows the birds.
More symbolism. Yeah. I mean, it's coming from your mouth. I've never read this, but it sounds lazy as far as what he's saying in the book.
I found it in a Dollar Tree.
You found it in a Dollar Tree, but this is an award-winning book, according to what you got. The Locust. You got the Locust Award.
The Locust Award was one before this. This book didn't win awards. The guy that wrote it won awards. So he won the Genius
for
Award.
other stuff,
of course, but not. They can't all be winners. All right, expecting winners from Wallace Foster Kane. But
they can't all be Infinite Jest. Can I, at the end of your episode, recommend a book?
Absolutely, yes. You can do it. Yes, absolutely. You can do it now.
I read Between Two Fires, which is a really good book. Insanely easy to read. It's basically as if this person is writing young adult fiction, but by accident.
Why are you reading young adult fiction books?
I'm not. Between Two Fires, I'm like, why is this so easy to read, but also not boring? And then I saw reviews and no, he writes as if it's young adult fiction, but it's definitely for adults. It's not dumbed down. It's not stupid. It's not trying to catch your attention. But the one thing that's young adult about it is every chapter has something that happens at the end of it. So that chapter had a purpose. Kind of thing. So then the next chapter, you're not wasting your time going through 5 chapters like Token, where they're walking through a field for 3 chapters. Yeah. It's not like that. It's every chapter has a purpose, and it's kind of a long book, and it involves heaven and hell and a war between heaven and hell and the fucking plague and whatever, because it's all happening during the Dark Ages. And it wound up being really good, and the way he describes hell and talks about hell was holy shit, he did a really good job. For a person that writes simply. He writes as if he's J.K. Rowling, simply for children, but he's got big messages delivered on that platform. And I was like, well, this is weird that this is so good. So I kind of can't shut up about it. I was surprised how good it is. The Witch of Willow Hall, I read that one. And then, of course, Dungeon Crawler Carl, which I'm not going to get into. I don't want to bore you.
And I'm reading Assholes, a Theory.
Okay, so I'm going to give you my book recommendation.
Absolutely.
I have been a man that likes to read and learn about different religions because I think it's interesting. Everyone's got, I'm not going to go into a big long thing about it. It's just basically every culture has some kind of spiritual belief, and it says a lot about that culture. It says a lot about human beings with the belief that something bigger is going on because we're so scared. We need a daddy to take care of us. There's all this stuff that makes it interesting. And so then I get into metaphysical stuff sometimes. Sure. So I read a book called Little Big by, I forget his first name, his last name is Crowley. Not that Crowley, not the creepy Crowley, but a different Crowley. It was written in 1980, so the creepy Crowley was dead long before then. But that book was good because it's very much magical realism, where a man like falls in love with this woman and he basically has to move back to Boston, I think he was living in. And then he's got to walk across the country to go back to her house to propose to her. Only because this woman's grandma said, this is what you have to do. You have to walk across the country to come back to the house to
like
propose to her.
Gumping.
Why? Never. Kind of a Forrest Gump thing, yeah. And so it's like you don't, there's no explanation about why he's doing that. But what I loved about the book was this sub story going on. As you're reading the book, you find out a couple chapters in, like, oh, something happened. Like they're not living in the world that we live in. Oh, something's going on where everyone's poor. That's weird. And then it's not really mentioned a lot. There's no big description of it. There's just kind of like hints here and there. There's an uncle that owns an apartment in Brooklyn that he's turned into a goat farm. And like, how do you do that? And it's because you kind of find out as chapters go on. I'm giving everything away about this book. You don't have to put this in. Yeah, you don't have to put this in your episode. But I highly recommend, if you want to read something, this one's weird and good. And so like, why is there a goat farm in this guy's apartment? And it turns out a lot of people in New York have like farms with like chickens and goats and whatever, because it turns out the American economy is completely collapsed. You find out like halfway through the book, you're like, oh, this is like a post-apocalyptic book, but you wouldn't know because all the stuff you're reading is about the characters and how they interact with each other and that kind of thing. The woman who he's going to marry, her dad was an architect. And so what he did was he wanted to build a house that had multiple fronts to it. So like you have the front of the house that looks like a Victorian style house. Then over here, there's another side, like a front of the house, that's like a 1950s style. Then over here, there's another front of the house. So all the house is like a octagon or something with all these fronts everywhere. But they all have different fronts because he's advertising the kind of houses he can build when he's like showing this house. But the thing is, it kind of creates this like the House of Leaves style thing where it's created this weird abstract kind of thing that happens. Got another uncle that made a deal with some sort of spiritual woman where he could make any woman fall in love with him. And so when he like, okay, great. So then he makes a woman fall in love with him. He's having sex with her. Then he makes another woman fall in love with her. But then he starts to realize I'm hurting the first woman. And now I'm on to my third woman. I'm hurting both these other women behind me. I'm a horrible person. So then he just walks into a pond and becomes a fish. No explanation. Magical realism. It's kind of what I like about magical realism. There's no explanation. He's a fish now. But the daughter goes to see the fish at some point and talk to him.
Her fish
and
dad.
He's just like, or her fish uncle or whatever. Sorry. And then he's like, yeah, and he's like, leave me alone or whatever.
He
and
can
she's
still
like,
speak?
no, and they're talking. He can still speak. Isn't that weird? Magical realism.
Wait, how does she put her head over the water?
No. I think she just stood above the water and shouted down to the fish. And the fish must have put his little lips above the water and be like, leave me alone. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it goes on and on. There's all this like stuff between all the characters, like the guy that walked across America, he wound up cheating on this woman that he married with like her sister, but then she's like forgiving of it. So there's all this like character development, and you kind of forget that they live in this like dystopian world. But then there's a hint that comes up about the dystopian world. Like, oh, that's right. They live in a dystopian world. I forgot all about that. So like that was interesting. So I'm giving this away.
I just imagine that she goes to visit her uncle. And he's not there one day, and there's just a guy camping by the edge of the lake, and he's frying a fish. And she's like, wait, where didn't it speak to you? And he's like, oh, there was screaming. Yeah.
So, but the end of the book, the big giveaway is you find out all this stuff is happening because, and this is the cheesy part, like that's like whenever I have to describe this book to people, I'm like, this part's really cheesy, but it's like, you can switch this out with anything else, but this author chose this one thing, and it makes it cheesy. But also the concept is still really cool. Is that the world's falling apart, and you only get hints of it. It's all about the character development, character drama between each person. A little bit of magical realism going on, all that kind of stuff. And it's like interesting. And then you kind of forget, and you're like, oh yeah, that's right, the world's falling apart. Until the mom of this daughter this guy married, turns out she got a book of some sort of like magical kind of like spells and stuff. And she found it somewhere. And then she found out that like, no, there's a whole race of people that made this book, but they don't live in our dimension. They literally live in a different dimension and you can't connect with them. But somehow this book came through. But then these race of people sent one of their own to steal their baby to give the book back or whatever. And then like now the baby's older now. And so they bring the baby back as like this like teenage girl. And like, you got to help us get this book back. Cause like we stole you and it didn't do anything to get the book back. So now we got to like convince them to give us the book. And it turns out I hate this part. They're fairies. Oh, I hate this part. But so you can replace that with anything. But the cool part was apparently the human world living in our 3D world in our dimension completely unknowingly has caused so many ripples and so many problems with this other race of people, fucking fairies, in their dimension. But they can't talk to us and we can't talk to them. But they're a higher dimension from us. So they can influence us to try and destroy us. So they're basically going to war with us. But we have no idea that we're even in a war. We have no idea. Like, we don't know we're causing problems and we don't know that somebody else is striking out against us. So we don't know. So America and I guess the rest of the world is falling apart, like poverty and all this kind of stuff
like
going on.
Stuff.
And everything that we know and enjoy about our lives is falling apart because we're basically being at war, but we have no idea that we're at war. But this one family, because of this book, they're like, oh, we've got this connection. We know what's going on. So they transition over to try and talk to them and get them to stop. And that creates peace or whatever. So the very end of the book is them transferring over. And so as they're, it's almost like going to heaven, I guess, in a way. And so they go to the uncle in the pond, like, you can stop being a fish. You should come with us. Like, just be a normal person. Let's go over here and we'll make the war stop. And, the humans on Earth have no idea what's going on, but their lives will just be better now. And then we'll kind of sacrifice ourselves in a way to like, go live in their world and talk to them about, hey, calm down. This is how we act, and this is what we do, and we're not trying to destroy you, and this is how we can all live in harmony. And the Uncle Fish is like, no, I'm a rapist. I don't want to go. And like, you can. And he's like, no, just go without me. And the story ends with him just like swimming around in the pool, just like, fuck this. Just swimming around in circles. And I'm like, I love the fuck out of this book. It was so weird and complicated and abstract and strange. So I highly recommend Little Big. Little, Big is so goddamn good. Like, I'm going to read it again. I bought a physical copy of the book with the 1980s cover off of eBay because I wanted the original book. Wow. And it's an ugly 1980s cover. It's got like boobies on it and stuff. It's really stupid. It's not cool. But so there you go. Your book's fine. My book is better.
Yeah, it does sound better. It does sound better than the boring-ass pastoral post-apocalyptic
You put
farm.
your fucking car on top of a tower, and I'm not getting out of it. Little Big had better symbolism than this bullshit from Jonathan Wallace.
But
Letterman.
But there were 3 arrests. You get 3 arrests in one. Just saying. You get...
Oh, I only heard of 1 arrest. Well, there's 2 arrests.
You get the arrest.
What was the 3rd one?
You get the arrest.
Yeah.
You get the tower arrest. And then you get the pedophile arrest.
Oh, because he kills himself.
Yeah. Well, he kills himself because there's a war that happens. Spoilers of war that happens.
Oh, another one?
No, just the one war to get the car. They want the car, so then...
Well,
they're afraid of him. They're afraid of Todbaum and his car that crushes people and can drill under things. And
also make espresso.
Yes. It has a weird razor door that like looks like a camera. It looks like a camera aperture that and it apparently can slice bodies in half. There's a whole thing. It has a security system. It's over the top. But anyway, yes.
Was he like 20 years old when you wrote this book that you got at the Dollar Tree?
I think it was written in 2015, maybe. I don't know.
What was he huffing paint? Was that 1970s, 80s, 90s? When is he huffing that paint? Oh, wait, that part wasn't real. I forgot about that.
Go ahead. You got to do it.
When life. All right, I'm doing it.
Now.
Okay, here we go. Okay, I mean, if you calm the fuck down, maybe I'll get into it. Let me work myself up a little bit because I feel like I've probably heard it, but didn't realize it was like a specific thing you do. So now suddenly I realize I gotta be on point here.
It's my friend. It's my friend, Lemon McNally.
Oh.
Lemon
yeah,
McNally.
because I was supposed to interact with your friend, but that never really happened.
This is Lemon McNally. He does a thing at the end of every episode I do. Ever since the Andy Rooney thing, I've had Lemon McNally at the end do a thing for
I don't know if I know who Lemon. I probably heard it, didn't know what the fuck you're talking about or who the fuck Lemon McNally is. I know Shep. You did a whole Shep episode, and then Shep became a regular member on your show, and I'm like, oh, Shep's back. Lemon. Hey, Lemon. Hey, I'm calling forth to the lemon. Hey, if life gives you lemons, someone's going to say something right now.
Yes.
I don't know. I guess I didn't really pay attention to the lemon thing.
It's called When Life Gives You Lemon. That's it. And then you just...
Well, half the time, it's like by the time your show's ending, I'm either taking a poop or I'm doing other I'm like cleaning the house. Like I'm not paying full attention. Like you're closing.
I tag the ending with When Life Gives You Lemon. And then I come in and I say, thank you for listening and all that. And then at the very end, I bury a clip at the very end of, usually it's saying some nonsense at the end, or it's Alonzo, I think.
She says nonsense all through your show. Yeah. She interrupts you to say, stop talking that way. Which I have not experienced so far in this episode at all.
No, it's kind of crazy.
Wow. So it's like that. Okay.
It's almost like she's
so rude.
Not real. But I'm not saying that.
That's so effed
No, you can. Yeah. But no, I usually tag it at the end with
my freaking time,
sister.
boy.
My daughter really likes Alonzo.
Coming.
So I'll throw him at the end sometimes.
All right. Anyways, Elton, if you're done talking, here's When Life Gives You Lemon.
Observation. It's something we've been led to believe we're innately born with, but all too often we find too late in life that we've been shortchanged by whatever means people are gifted such ability. Perhaps my mom drank too much coffee or lied about some lost cocaine binge before marrying dear old dad and entering a chaste, holy bond that I prefer to think of as sexless, rather than throw up, my entire life. Whatever the reason, I can state that somewhere, for some reason, I've lost that observational ability, either by maturing my way to tunnel vision or my own cocaine binges of old. I know this because while in the park yesterday, I asked for directions to the nearest Starbucks, was told by a nice gentleman how to get there speedily, and off I went. It was only later that the friend I was with informed me that my directionally gifted friendly stranger had his dick out the whole time. What the hell else have I been missing? Better still, has my dick been hanging out at odd times? I may need a live-in nurse.
Thank you for listening to Elton Reads a Book a Week. I really appreciate you taking the time to listen to me. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider joining the Patreon for this podcast. There's all kinds of extra goodies over there, like an extra podcast or two, or lots of extra episodes of different things that I've worked on, things like that. And I also do another podcast, if you like this one, with a group of podcasting friends of mine, including Glenn, who you just heard in this episode. It's called 2 Books, 1 Cup. You might want to go over there and check that out. Search that up. It's on all the podcasting platforms. You'll find it on the Nuzzle House feed if you listen to that, which you should. It's a very, very good podcast. That's the one that Glenn does over there. And 2 Books, 1 Cup. I also play D&D on that. So if you're into that, you should check that out. There's also a Patreon for that too, where you find me do another Patreon exclusive over there on that Patreon too, called Elton and Glenn Do a Thing. So if you're interested in all that, please consider joining the Patreon for this podcast. And if you like that one, join that one over there too. If you're not there yet, then share this podcast. Leave and rate, Jesus Christ. Rate it and review it. That always helps. Algorithms and all that stuff. And follow on all the social media stuff. That helps too. And above all else, thank you for listening. I appreciate every listener. Love you. I really, sincerely do. And if you have time, go and try getting into a book this week or finish one up. Just read a book this week, okay? Don't let them die out. That would suck so bad. Thank you very, very, very much. I appreciate it. Okay. Goodbye then. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Hey, Elton, if you're not busy, I'd like to talk to you about getting me back to the hereafter.
Oh, shit!
Oh!
Shep? Yeah, Shep?
Hello
Shep's
there.
here? Holy crap.
I don't believe we've
Oh, that's
met.
awesome. Shep! Oh,
yes,
Shep.
Yes, that's
my dad
me.
loved your radio show for the longest time. When I was a little kid, he kept saying, like, you gotta get in with Shep.
Golly,
He's so cool. You were kind of like AM radio back in the 60s.
Thank him.
Back when, except you were like a weird conservative guy.
Yep.
You
Good
gave up
old
radio,
AM radio.
and then in the 80s, when I was a
days.
kid, you started doing a lot of voiceovers for shit. Even that movie, the weird Christmas one. Did you ever vote for Reagan?
Oh, Reagan. Let's see how I would... Well, I think as far as that goes, I've said it before, if there were ever an American version of Hitler, it would be some show business character or another. Though I guess that's neither here nor there so much, but... well, I don't know if this answers anything, but I considered myself a Kennedy man. Take with that what you will.
Weird. So my mom cheated on my dad. Did you ever have that kind of problem when you were a kid? That maybe I don't know. I just kind of think of you with my childhood. So I kind of want to get my dad was never really around a lot. I never learned to shave from my dad. He never taught me. Actually, weirdly, Shep, you might find this interesting. What's that?
That took a bit of a left turn there, didn't it? Golly, I'm sorry to hear
that.
Well,
anyways, you might find this interesting. I learned how to shave from watching Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. Not the new one on Netflix, but the old one from the 2000s back on the gardening channel. I don't know. They're doing weird shit. What?
Must have been after my time.
That's not the point. So I was going to say, did you ever have a kid that you loved, Shep?
Yeah, this is not what I expected to well, I can't say. Well, my son, I didn't have... Well, it's a little confusing for all. Well, not for my son, but when I was alive, no. Though, well...
Huh. That's unfortunate. I mean, did he like you? I mean, it sounds like he liked you. Did you like him?
I'm really not sure how to answer that, kid.
Okay, well, I mean, that's complicated. I always thought, highly of you. It's kind of like, I mean, to be honest, I always kind of thought about you as like the dad I never had. I mean, I had a dad.
Like the dad
wasn't
you
the
never
best.
had?
Whoa,
hey, I think
you were
that
kind
maybe,
of like, I just keep watching the Christmas movie over and over again. Like, God, I wish that voice of the guy was my dad.
You settle down a minute,
I bet
we can...
Cuddled a lot.
What?
Cuddled. And
you got that I might like
my
to
football games that I used to go to as a kid. I played. I was a quarterback. I wasn't a good quarterback. I was on the C team, but I was still a quarterback. And my dad never came because he just put his hand on the top of my head with his Pabst Blue Ribbon in the other hand. This is the 80s.
Beat
and it's before it was cool to drink Pabst.
Pump the
and then
brakes,
he'd say you should probably stop doing that, playing that game. You're not good at it. Would you ever do that to your kid, Shep? Huh?
I have no idea what is even happening right now, kid. Frankly, I'm not so much terrified as I want to say concerned, but I feel that might trigger something, and I'm more unnerved about about that.
Weird. Okay. I always thought you were more supportive. I guess you're not. Okay, well, I guess I got a couple follow-up questions. I'm going to wrap this turd up. I really changed how I see you, Shep. What kind of shirts do you wear? I always imagine like a dad wears like a button-up kind of collared shirt, you know, like the way you wear a tie with it, except there's like short sleeve, kind of like a gym coach. I guess I always kind of wanted a dad. I always kind of imagined you being the kind of dad with a beautiful voice that is kind of looks like a gym coach, except that you don't get picky with the kids and you don't talk about how they got little tiny girl bodies when they're little boys.
Yeah.
That happened a lot when I was in gym. Would you do that? Would you do that, Shep? Do you ever do that with this kid that you talked about earlier?
I bought whatever shirts were on sale.
I guess I like my dad better. Okay. Well, I'm glad you came on the show, Shep. I'm glad I finally got to talk to you. Jesus Christ, I thought you were a better guy than that. But you got a great voice, and I love the movie.
Thank you. Listen, please get some help, and tell your dad, just wow. Yeah, just wow. He's got one hell of a kid on his hands. Wow.